MMA Rants and Raves, Strikeforce Houston, Bobby Lashley versus Chad Griggs. Guys, I wanted to make some points about this fight. You see Lashley coming in with an extensive wrestling background. He's a true wrestling pedigree, and he has insane strength to complement that wrestling ability. I mean, he gets a takedown in just 10 seconds, puts Griggs on his back. No matter how good you are with takedown defense, you're quick, you're powerful. There's nothing that's going to stop a guy from taking you down that has speed, that's able to get a lock around your waist. I mean, you're going down. And he was able to use the wrestling. I mean, 3 takedowns in that first round. And Griggs, really impressive, able to get back to his feet. Very good in his guard, preventing any serious damage from Lashley, actually fighting back on his ground. And he actually was very good standing up. He got a brutal knee to the midsection, which actually hurt Lashley. He got a nasty uppercut also coming from Griggs, which is what I think opened up that cut on the eye. And then in the middle of the second round, you basically, Lashley was dominant on the ground, took that round, looked really good with the takedowns. Moving on to the second round, you basically saw Lashley continuing the game plan with the takedowns, and then he got this unbelievable takedown, which was actually exciting to watch. And that's what I just said. He has this strength which actually backs up the wrestling technique. When you have difficulty taking an opponent down, you have unbelievable amount of power. You could just lift the guy and slam him. And Griggs is lucky he wasn't injured. I mean, that was like what you call in pro wrestling moves, like a spine buster or something, and very dominant takedown. And the same was happening in the second round. You saw Griggs with very good guard, preventing any serious damage, but later on, Lashley got full mount. Very talented wrestler. He was trying to pass guard the entire fight, looking for positions to land some strikes, and looked like Griggs was really in trouble. But despite that, he was able to do well in his guard, able to spin around, making it difficult for him to be timed. And then the ref stood it up 41 seconds. And basically, what was happening to Lashley was, and the announcers were mentioning this, he was getting tired. And he was burning himself out. He was expending a lot of energy. And it really came back to haunt him, because towards the end of the fight, of course, he had the problem with the eye, but the real issue with Lashley was it looked like he was getting tired. He was taking some deep breaths. And there was no way you can continue. And that's a point I want to make, guys. You look at this guy, he looks like something out of a comic book. I mean, he's just huge. He's built like a brick house. And when you see a guy like that going up against the other guy, you say, you know what, I'm going to put my money on that guy. I mean, he's just huge. But in a perfect world, in the comic book world, that's the biggest, baddest dude. But in the real world, those muscles, they have a lot of lactic acid. They need a lot of oxygen. And if they don't get enough oxygen that they need, they shut down. And it looks like that's what happened here. Now, the other thing with Lashley is his takedowns are really good. If he can complement it with some more powerful strikes and maybe learn, not be the best at it, but even some submission skills. We've seen it with Lesnar and Carwin. If you can display maybe an arm choke, or he had an arm on Griggs, the announcers mentioned that he just gave it up. He was just continuing with the ground and pound. So either one of these tools can really complement his game. Now, as far as Griggs, I mean, Griggs was impressive. Guys, this guy was out for about 16 months. And he didn't show any ring rust, any cardio problems. He looked fresh. He looked good on his feet. His takedown defense was good. His guard was good. He showed a nice sprawl towards the end of the fight. I was really impressed with this guy. So that was an interesting fight. Would like to know what you thought about it. Please leave your comments below the video. Rate this video and subscribe. And thank you for tuning in.